Yo, what's up, you guys? Back at it again. This episode is gonna be quite different. As you see, obviously, there's no guest. It's gonna be more intimate, more Skylar and I, so you guys could get to know us more, right? I feel like we've been having guests back to back, and which is good. That's what we want. But also, I feel like we haven't really shared our story or share things about us for the audience to resonate with us, to relate to us, to know who we are. Because at the end of the day, they should know where we come from, what we've done, what we've been through, so they could, kind of relate and see what we got going on. So let's get it, man. And hopefully you guys like this episode and see what Skylar got to ask and not what I got to ask Skylar. So let's get it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, guys, we're really excited. We want to pretty much start putting ourselves out there and sharing our story of who is Daniel, who is Skylar, and so that you guys can resonate with us. Why are Skylar and Daniel doing this? Maybe what do we have to share, or why do we feel like we have an opinion on certain matters? Like as we go through life, sometimes you feel like maybe you don't have opinions, or you shouldn't be able to comment on something if you've never been through it. And I feel like maybe some of these people don't know us generally enough to feel like, why would Skylar even have an opinion on someone's business, on someone's health or something like that, right?
Yeah, so, I agree.
The point of this, again, is always to kind of share that, in a funny manner, serious manner, whatever. It's always, our opinion is only our opinion, guys. And like Daniel and I always say, it's like opinions don't really matter, so don't take this too hard. If you get upset with us, by all means, I don't give a fuck. But today, like you said, it's just pure questions, man. So I'm excited to see what you ask me off the top of your head. I'll do the same. And hopefully that gives people a good idea of like kind of who we are. It doesn't give them everything, but it gives them enough to be like, who the fuck are these guys?
I was going to say 3, but just give me one moment, one time, or like, if Skylar could go back to a certain age, what age would it be, and what would he has done differently?
That's tough because I'm so at peace with my past and my mistakes because it grew me so far. But I know that I've always had like thoughts in my head that maybe I shouldn't have, maybe certain things that I shouldn't have done. And I think most of it is, I would say this, it's maybe not a moment, it's maybe how I was. And some of the things that made me who I was are not the actions that I was taking, but the things I've said. And if I can go back, it wouldn't be to change multiple things I've said or multiple things I've did, but actually things I've said to people. And the reason I say that is because I would wish I was kinder. I wish I didn't say certain things to people when I was younger, to hurt their feelings, like knowing what I was doing. I was very, in spite them, to very like vengeful, very fucking like I'm a Scorpio at heart, dude. So I am like, if you believe in it, you believe in it. But I'm just gonna go with it, and all women know this stuff, right? So I'm a Scorpio born, but I'm also a Scorpio moon, which is a rising, and a Scorpio fucking moon, like a Scorpio sun and moon. Like I'm pure Scorpio. So when you put that all into one, like what comes to people is like, damn, they're very spiteful. They're very like sneaky. They're like, all this weird thing. They're just who I am. Like it was like literally who I was. I was like, damn, this is fucking me. So some of the things I've said were on purpose. Like I would purposely say things to either start commotion or to be sneaky or to be like, and it wasn't like I was lying. It was truth, but I would purposely do things out of spite. And I don't know why, but it was just like fucking into me. Like I thought it was fun playing little mind tricks here and there, playing with people's emotions. Like it fucking was so fun to me. Because it was bad, dude. So like in high school, I was already aware of this, and I could play with people's emotions easily because I can tell them one thing, they would think they believe me, And it wasn't that I was fake. It was because I knew what I was doing. Like I could start something if I wanted to. And with knowing that, I feel like it's like, that's fucked up, one. And it's just two, that's like, why would he be doing this? But to clarify why I did it, the only reason I wouldn't do it just for fun. Like it wasn't, when I say fun, I wasn't going out just starting shit just because. I was never a gossip person. I would stick to myself. It was only until someone hurt me or like I felt offended or whatever that I would go take it. I wouldn't go 10% in. I would go full on in. If someone hurt me just this much, I would hurt them as much as possible. Like it's savage, dude. Like if someone tells you a savage joke, like oh, that's why your mom's in a wheelchair or some shit, like Like I would be like, that's
10 times that.
It would be 10 times, which is even crazier. Like, how do you go worse? Like, oh, that's why your mom's fucking dead. That's why I have no fucking parents. Like, I would just say shit like that, bro. And I was just like, damn, dude. Like, and afterwards, don't get me wrong. Afterwards, I'll be like, fuck, like, that's fucked up, dude. And I would move on. But I would just like...
Oh, well, all type of shit. Like,
the reason why, I just felt like... yeah, it's the truth and whatever, fuck them because they hurt me. But honestly, it didn't get me anywhere. So I think if I could change anything, and I know that I rambled on a little bit about that, but if I could change anything, it would be honestly to be kinder to people. And now I'm so grateful that, you know, and I've said sorry to a lot of people based on that, but I'm grateful that now I understand that because I try to I will hold my tongue. I won't try to be spiteful and do all that because there's no point to that, you know? Like, if someone hurts you, let them hurt you and then freaking move on from it. Like, the forgiveness is for yourself, not for others, right? So just forgive them and move on. But yeah, man, I think that's the most important thing ever, man. It's just, you know, don't... Fuck, I mean, maybe I didn't have anyone telling me not any better, but, you know, I was very spiteful, and I wish I was just kinder to people.
Yeah.
So that's what I would change. I wouldn't change what I've done because it's a lot of learning lessons, but I would change how I treat people, honestly.
Yeah, no, kindness does go a long way, and that's what I try to teach. We'll tell my little sister, like, doesn't matter how they are, just be nice to everyone.
Yeah.
Even if, maybe they're mean to you, they think, you know, but kill them with kindness, because kindness goes a long way. And you don't burn bridges, you know, and
you actually feel better after if you kill them with kindness and you're still like nice, like you're still kind to someone that was mean to you. You're like, you took the higher road, right?
And they see like, oh shit, no, this person is different. They're kind, whatever. So they'll start being nice to you, and again, you'll develop great friendships by being kind to people. Yeah, you know what I mean. You'll attract good people to your life. Yeah. I think.
Well, speaking of which, you know, you asked me about what I would change, and I think you're gonna have the same answer, but you might have a different like take on it. But if there's something that you would change, you know, maybe not a moment, but what would you change?
I would have changed a lot, bro. Because I always had like a good heart. I was always nice. I was never. If the only time
you weren't a Skyler. No,
yeah. The only time
bitch.
The only times I was a Skyler, it was when my friends were being like
hurtful.
To others, like when they'll bully people, I'll jump in like, oh yeah, get out, you know, like just to be cool with them. But I was never like me. Like that was never me.
No, but I never bullied someone either though. No. I would always stand up for people that were being bullied. I didn't believe in that shit either, because I've seen so many kids get bullied, and I was just like, nah. I'll be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And the only reason why I felt that way is because I always thought that I would get bullied, but the reason I never got bullied is because I was the first one to throw hands.
Yeah.
Fuck no, dude. I had so many fucking fights only because first I've been to so many different schools growing up. Every school that I went to, I had to put my name out there. You know, like freaking. I always lived in honestly like in these poor neighborhoods. I was probably like the only white kid at the time, and some of them certain parts of my life, but like I was the only white kid. Like during middle school was freaking in Long Beach. No, I was probably like one of the 3 white kids, but I was not ever being punked. Why? Because I don't know. Yeah. I just felt like maybe I had a strong demeanor, or like people just knew like I wasn't gonna be fucked around with. You know. Yeah. I would get in fights. You know, and the same thing with high school and everything like that. I think my 9th grade, I got my first fight within like, I don't know, like 3 months. But you know, I wasn't always sent to the principal's office. I wasn't one of those kids. I wasn't like that because most of the time they didn't find out. I was more like sneaky about it. But I was the one like fucking like, to me, like survival was everything. So freaking if I showed weakness, they would fucking see that shit. So I would never show weakness. If someone fucking even a little hint of it, I would shut them down. I'll be like, fuck no, let's go. So I'd be that crazy. I was just like, let's fucking go then.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but again, it was just one of those things. Well, I mean, I know why, but we won't go that deep into it right now.
Not yet. But not today.
But honestly, yeah. So if you would change things, like you were saying, it would just be, you know, like you would punk them, or not punk them. Sorry, you were saying that if your friends were being mean and stuff like that, that you would change that about you, right?
No, I wouldn't. No, I was saying that I would change a lot of things, but not the way I treated people. I would change more for myself. The things I always say to the youngsters, right? Like, educate yourself. That's the one thing. Obviously, right? Because when I was like in high school, middle school, it was all about partying, drinking, girls, try to be cool. Never did I ever read a book. I was a C average student. All of my essays were copied from people in the class. Damn. I never did my own homework. Everything was copied. So I just passed C average student just because I was copying. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that now, after I started reading and getting into self-help and self-development and all that good stuff, I always think about the same thing. Like, man, I wish I would have, if I were to go back in time, at least in high school, I would start taking education more
a little bit more seriously.
You know?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I would change, and I would encourage everyone, because but what did they say? Some dudes say, like, he said reading is underrated, and then I said self-help or self-development is underrated.
Far more underrated.
Yeah, and that's the facts, bro. And nowadays, I mean, youngsters are more exposed to this type of world, I guess, to self-help because of TikTok and social media than Big Four. So that's the one thing I encourage everyone, and even now, like, it's never too late to try to be a better person. You know what I mean?
100%.
Especially in that field, in self-development, because that's...
Yeah. Well, I mean, the kids these days, they're going to have their own issues because they're not... Honestly, from what we see, they're obviously not... They're not ready to work. They're not ready to put the work in. They want to just have everything handed to them. And you can see it all over They want $15, $20 to fucking work at McDonald's. Like, bro, the fuck out of here. Like, that's not supposed to be your career. That's supposed to just be a gateway to your next week and going through college, going through high school. These jobs and everything like that, they're not meant to be your career. Why should you get paid $20? Yeah. You know, even with the times and everything. Like, what are you buying? You're living at home. You're not paying for anything. You maybe have a car payment if you're lucky, and that's why you have a job. But there's no reason. Like, they're not paying for a whole family. Why do they need $20?
No,
it makes zero sense to me.
Yeah, I agree on that, dude. And it's like, it could go both ways, right? Because, again, it's only based on, they don't know better, right? They don't know, like, again,
no,
like, whatever.
We baby them. Yeah. I feel like we just baby this new generation.
Yes.
Well, not just us, but, everyone.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, fuck, bro. Like, it's complicated because it is. We do baby them because, obviously, right, we want to spoil our kids if you have kids, or your smaller siblings, because you want to give them what you didn't have. You want them not to experience the lack of things that, as you were growing up. But at the same time, you want to teach them those hard lessons.
And how can you teach them if you're giving them everything?
Yeah, so it's just again, like I said a couple episodes before, it's like you teach them by showing them how to do things, And it's funny because now my little sister cooks her own salmon or her lunch and takes it to school now. So she's out there fucking meal prepping herself. And she even bought like one of those lunch cases.
Oh, that keeps it warmer?
Like you connect it to the wall and then they heat it up. Like she sent in the picture, and like it's fun. It's nice, bro. Like it's hilarious because, like, okay, a 17-year-old is meal prepping her shit to go to high school, but it's also nice because she saw that from me, you know what I mean? Yeah. And now she knows, like, okay, this or that. Or last time I asked her something and she's like, well, if it's more than this, because she has some money saved, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, you're going to want some of this or not? And then she's like, well, if it's more than this amount, I'd rather pass because I'd rather keep my money saved. I was like, good job. That's nice to know, because me back in her age, I'd be like, hell yeah, give me like 3 of those, whatever it was, But now she's more like, okay, because she hears it from people. Well, she hears it from me, like she learns shit from me. But then those that don't have it, that's, it's fun.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
it's just
I just had this conversation with my son. So we were driving to my parents' house, and I was telling him, I was like, oh, so he goes, I asked him what he ate that day. I think it was right after school or something like that. He goes, oh, we went to McDonald's and we had so much food. Like, everyone got like 40 pieces, fries, everything like that, McNuggets and everything. And I'm just like, well, fuck. I was like, damn, dude. I was like, you must be balling. And I was just like, I mean, obviously it's not that expensive. But I told him, I was like, dude, when I remember we had a freaking, like, after swimming practice and stuff like that, all our friends, we all had enough money to put together just to buy like the Jack's tacos. Yeah. Like, we had to figure out how we all gonna eat like one taco. Yeah. It was so like that's how poor we were.
Yeah, like five of us and 2 tacos.
Everyone had $1, or like someone had 50 cents or like whatever. And that's not just with like tacos. We would do that for like literally for all the dumb shit we did. Trying to buy alcohol like idiots. What was the cheapest deal? What could we get for whatever amount of money we had? Yeah. And they don't understand that because we treat them so well that they're just like, oh, here's $20, here's 100, here's 50, And I'm guilty of it. My son, if he calls me for money, I'm not gonna say no. That's like, right. Why would I? Like, I have it. Mm-hmm. He's lucky enough to have it. However, things come with a price, and for him, he knows that, you know, my structure balance is you have to do good in school and have respect. And then when we do other, like certain other things, like I'm going to teach you these life lessons and stuff like that. That's kind of like how I try to mold him. And, you know, I'm still working on that myself, but it's just like, if he does so well in areas that I was always failing and didn't have any guidance, then it's like, how can I be mad at him? Like he has A's and B's. How can he not get everything he wants?
Yeah.
How can he not ask me for things and get them? The only other way would be if he was like obviously a douchebag or a dick.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I'll be like, oh, fuck you then, you know? And that's happened too, you know? If he freaking gets a C or whatever, you know, things start getting taken away because I want him to succeed. And just like you want your sister to succeed, we want them to, you know, go to a university or college or whatever and get a degree that matters, right? Not just any degree, but a degree that matters where they can go out of college. Their goal is to get an $80,000 job starting. Like, dude, that's fucking nuts if you think about it, right? But that's possible. Us, what do we have to do? We had to work at fucking Food for Less for $8.10 or whatever I worked. I think that was what it was.
I worked at Subway.
Yeah, and you worked.
Yeah.
And then by then, I'm guessing it was like $10 when you started working.
No, it was like $8.50.
It was $8.50.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so yeah, it was so low, and then slowly worked our way up. Then slowly, there's no college, no education, no thing, like whatever, and it's like, damn, like
Yeah.
all we need is someone to push us.
Yeah.
But
yeah, someone to look up to, because I mean, I personally didn't have someone to, like, I was the first one to go to college, to graduate from high school, so I never really had someone to like show or like to look up to, like, oh damn, like this person is
no one to push you,
know, like,
just
or to guide me at least, like, yo, if you have to do this and that in order to, you know.
Yeah, and there's other, unfortunately, I mean, there's different families in different ways, you know, like we didn't grow up that way, but other families, even in the same neighborhood, did have that. And you saw them all go to college, get degrees and everything like that. And you're just like, fuck it. And what it all comes down to is that guidance in that family. Yeah. Very good family. You know, whether or not they had their own issues is not the point. It's that they had their family had goals set for themselves. Yeah. And that stems from, you know, like when you create generation wealth, let's think about not just creating generation wealth, but what about creating generational like mindsets, generational fucking what's the word? I was trying to think of some other word to like throw in there, but like you have to create a generation, and it starts with us. Your parents create every step. Yeah. So if they didn't do that, why would they push you? But most of the time you would think about it too. I've seen all the stories too. If you didn't, like, you know, in your situation, you know, and you can talk about it. It's just that, you know, like your parents never meant to graduate high school, never graduate college, whatever, and you were the first one, and they didn't even push you. But they didn't push you to do that. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But you know, that's one of those things. Like sometimes if you don't have it, then they push you, or they don't even push you at all.
That's right.
So, what do you do then? If no one's pushing you, what do you do next?
Yeah. It all, dude. Right now when you were saying that, it reminded me of I heard this one thing where they say, like, it's not like the whole generational thing, right? Like, it's not your parents, it's not their grandparents, or their parents, or their great grandparents. This is generational shit. Like the whole fixed mindset, it's coming from maybe 3, 4,
greats
5.
and greats. Yes. Yeah.
So it's just like, now it's up to you. It's up to me. It's up to you guys to now break that fucking generational curse, you know, like, or however you say it. Someone has
to break it.
So this is now, bro. Like, I feel like I'm already old. I feel like I'm already behind. I feel like I'm late, but it's better late than never, dude. And when I heard, I'm like, yeah, that's true. You know, like, this is our time now, dude. You know, yeah, whatever. Like, fucking 3, 4, 5 generations ago, they still had the same mindset that still led to our parents. But now it's not gonna. It's time
to change it. Yeah, you have the chance to change it for your entire family.
So now you're gonna change it. I'm gonna change it. Now we're all gonna change it, bro. Because now we're here for a fucking better future. You know, for our upcomings now. Yeah.
Well, that helps with, if you think about it on a grander scale. Think about it. If we're becoming, you know, a lot more people have been, I would use the word enlightened, or even like spiritual and whatever, and a lot more awareness is around now. So think about it. We've been in the same area for a while as a civilization. We went through like a tech boost at one point, but as a civilization of humanity, we've been like we've been stuck for a while in the same thing. It's like the rich are rich and the poor are poor. And now as we got into, like, once we started hitting the 2000s, we realized that's not the case anymore. There's new money, young wealth, and like there's so many different ways to create opportunity. You don't have to come from them. Yes, they're always going to be they're always going to be set off. Their generation wealth that came from wealth, they've honestly had it easy. You know, they've always had that wealth. You know, they've had the guidance or whatever and stuff like that. Their hardest struggle is the fucking like, oh, I have to get A's, or my fucking dad, I can't get into university, I can't get my fucking Ferrari. Fuck off, you know? Like, I honestly just like everyone should be just, in my book, everyone should be poor, bro. Start off poor and see where you go. That proves who the fucking man you are. It proves the person you are. But obviously we can't do that. But I think that we should do, as a society, what I was trying to point out is that I feel like we're in that change now, that when the next decade or two, we're going to see like a big flux in like how we treat each other as humans. Yeah. And we're going to see like just different types of, you know, mindsets coming where everyone has what you call a very good mindset, or, you know, or they're going to come from an opportunity where it's going to be given, where wealth is not just for the wealthy and it's passed around, and you're going to see everything just start going up. And as humanity, what we hope for is that, you know, as a whole, not just for USA, like I'm not just talking about the US, I'm talking about the country, like the entire world. If we all grow we'll become a bigger species, more intellectual, we'll share knowledge with each other. Stop going at war with everything, and then we'll become like a whole society, and then maybe we'll become interstellar. Yeah. You know, and I'm going to switch this into like more of that realm, because I love, you know, those movies. Like Interstellar is one of my favorite movies. I love everything to do with space, anything to do with that type of thing of just like extraterrestrial UFOs. Like I care about that because I feel like, but yeah, on a grander scale, I feel like aliens pass by and they lock their fucking doors. Like, because they're like, oh, fuck that. Like, they're ghetto and shit, right? Yeah. So it's always like one of those memes that I see is just funny, that I'm just like, fuck them, you know? Like, and I've watched all of like Star Trek and stuff like that. Like, I'm very geeky when it comes to that stuff. But I feel like in order to advance and become that civilization, because we can't be the only ones, dude. But in order to advance and stuff like that, and them to help us, is for us to, as a species, to not kill one another and finally find like a harmony, right? So that was my point of this.
You know, when you say that, like, I thought about it lately now. I'm like, maybe like whenever I'm able to retire, whenever I'm able to retire at a young age, I would fucking love to just like pack my bags and go to Egypt, like do like fucking like research on my own, you know, like, you know how people go like to the Antarctica, I believe, and without like just trying to figure out shit on itself, like see what's behind those walls, like, or what's under like the pyramids of Egypt, you know what I mean? Like I've been seeing a lot of shit on TikTok that just makes me like, that'll be cool, like go to the Amazon and like try to find guidance through there, see if someone could take me inside, see the tribes that are there, you know what I mean? Like that'll be fucking
okay, fuck you.
Yeah, so that'll be like fucking amazing, dude, because there's so much shit that we don't know that it's already exists, but just like the elites are hiding it from us, right? Like I was also seeing just to wrap this subject up, I guess, at the Vatican.
Yeah, the Vatican. Yeah,
they have like a bunch of 5 miles underground of like treasures of like all these findings of like high technology that nobody knows, only the elites.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing. I mean that there's no way we're stuck in this like technology like flux right now. Right now we've been stagnated since cell phones came out. Once cell phones came out and everything, like our technology boost in the 90s, went from the 90s all the way up into the 2000s, and then like technology went crazy, right? Yeah. And it's still, and we've been just stagnated. There's no way, because we all know that they have technology that they can release, and we've all seen the release documents. Well, not all of us, but there's release documents and now that they've reverse engineered different things, you know, of that aliens have crashed or whatever. So there is possibility that they can be 100 years ahead of us, and they're not releasing to us because they think we're scared as a population, which is true. If you think about it, when we have a conversation like this, how many people say, oh, that's scary, oh, don't talk to me about that, that doesn't, like, they're not open-minded enough. So if not everyone's open-minded, they feel like if we release this to the public, they're going to lose their minds. There's been aliens since the 50s. Yeah. And right? And now they're releasing all the documents now. It took them how many years to say like, oh, okay, maybe we're ready now?
Yeah. I guess, yeah, it's tough. Like, that's, maybe we should do an episode just based on conspiracies, you know?
Just do conspiracy?
Because that's also based of, like, on the agenda, right?
Yeah.
They're saying, like, now they're releasing more things because something's going to happen this couple years coming up, and they want to get us ready for when the blue light beam, I think, or something like that is called.
Yep.
So it's just like, okay. But yeah, anyways.
Anyway, those are conspiracies.
Yeah, dude,
we might have to, like, save that part for next time.
Yeah, dude. But with that being said, dude, I mean, damn, it's always like this, bro. Like, there's so much shit, like, that I want to know. Like, you know, just personal shit, like,
well, that's why,
for the audience to know and for them to, but there's so much things that we could talk about, as you see.
Because your life can't be summed up in fucking an hour episode. That's the problem.
So maybe we'll come back to another episode and, like, fully just, like, kind of like questionnaires, you know, like this and that, so we could get to really know each other, I guess, or like the audience to really know
well,
us.
I mean, we can, that would be cool. Like, I still want to sit across from you and ask each other like dumb questions, but I mean, dumb questions is like just funny questions. We should do a whole episode of that.
That'd be fun.
But like I said, for this one, I think that what we can do is, you know, because we're ending on a good note, we can ask each other just a few questions and just straight to the point. Don't go deep into it. Just things that we want to know, that we want to share with, you know, with everyone. So, do you remember specifically a moment in your life that you physically said, and not just said, but felt, and everything about you gave up on life? And that was like, you had your moment, like life defeated you, and you just said, fuck it, like, that's it, like, this is it. Like, have you ever had one of those moments where you just sat there and were just like, you literally felt more defeated than you ever felt in your entire life?
Yes. I'm sure a lot of people could relate to this because it was during COVID, right? I had started like a new job. I was doing car sales, and then COVID happened and people got let go, you know, since I was one of the new ones, and I was barely getting like comfortable doing it. I was one of them, and a lot of people don't know this, you know. They just, and I don't really, you know, obviously we don't share our like tough moments, but that was the moment where I was like, fuck, like, dude, like, come on, like, I felt like I didn't even get a chance to prove myself.
Yeah.
So it felt worse because I was like, I was the new one, and I was the one that got cut because of the whole COVID situation, and it happened everywhere, you know, but it felt like it was just me. And that's one of the moments where, like, I felt like I hit fucking rock bottom. I fucking cried. I called my mom, like, that's it, like, fucking, that's it. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah. Was that one of the moments in your life when you first got that job that you're like, okay, I finally made a shift to do something better versus just working, you know, at a shitty job? This was like your chance, and you're in your eyes to like, this was gonna like make you. Yeah.
No, I mean, yes, I started that job because I wanted to be more outgoing, you know. I wanted to practice my sales and everything, and then COVID comes, and then, oh, we have to fucking let people go. And I was like, come on, dude. Like, you know, it's barely, like, I had a couple months in there. Like, just give me a chance, you know. And they're like, nah, sorry, you know. It is what it is. So, obviously, they kept the senior sales people there. But a lot of the new guys got cut. And, yeah, I was one of them. And that was fucking, it was shit, bro. Like, it was, then never I've gotten let go of a job. And that was the first time. And I was like, fuck, like, this is it. What am I going to do, you know?
Yeah.
It just fucks with you. Even if it was not your fault or whatever, it just fucks with you mentally, bro, because you just feel like, you know?
No,
it's like, I would imagine, like, whenever, like, your partner cheats on you, like, whatever, like, it's her fault, not your fault, but it still fucks with you mentally.
You always think that it's always, like, you did something wrong, that you weren't enough for them, and that's unfortunate, because that's what it comes into. You're like, nah, fuck them, it was their fault. That's their problem, but again, that's a whole other fucking ball game when it comes to, like.
But just the point that it fucks with you mentally, then that's how it was, bro. And that was the moment where I was like, damn.
I'll tell you one of my moments, because this is my favorite moment that I always tell everyone. And when you look back on it, you're like, that wasn't even anything compared to like other moments that I've had. So I was living in San Pedro still. I think we just moved there. And I have I forgot how long I got the job at Spin Master at my tour company that I was working for. So I was working there. I think I was working there for maybe a year. And I just like, this is me getting back on my feet after like a couple fall throughs, and I'll go over it quickly. So I worked at NBC, got let go from there. And I was like, fuck, like, what do I do next? Getting paid so well, but the contract ended there. That was done. So after NBC, I was like, okay, what do I have to do? And so I got these jobs, and job after job was so shitty. It was so bad. I was like, fuck, how did I get this great job? Granted, I did have help to get into that job. And then I was like, there has to be a way. So I get this next job. And so I was unemployed for a little bit, going back and forth. And anyway, long story short, I'm at this job probably for a year. But the problem I had was being able to afford things at that time. I was, I'm pretty sure I was still living with my sister. And I was trying to figure out how could I pay for things, like I have my son I have to pay for. I was giving money, I was on child support. I was fucking paying bills, my health insurance, his health insurance, and they were taking so much from my check. And I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to live anyway? So at the time I was having car problems, I had a car. Unfortunately, I had to give the car back because it was under my sister's name. She was going through a, what do you call it? Bankruptcy, sorry. Oh. So she declared bankruptcy for some other reasons, for some other thing, but whatever. The car was underneath her name and that I was paying for. So she had to give that car back because she can only keep one underneath her name. Yeah. So I gave that car back, and even though I was paying on it, and then I was like, okay, what am I going to do? So a friend of mine at the time gave me a Honda. And he gave me the Honda. It ran fucking for 2 weeks before, and they've had it for a while, and it was working fine. They gave me this Honda, and it broke down. And I've had cars break down with me in the past when I was younger. Bro, like, this was, like, not the right time. I was just like, there's no way. So driving home, car breaks down. The guy, thankfully, they tow me off, and I try to freaking go, and I replace the part. Still doesn't start. I'm like, fuck, ask one of my friends, hey, can you come look at it? Sure, why not? Pay another fucking couple $100, tow it to go get looked at. And he was like, oh, it's a whole wiring harness. Like, this car's fucked.
Damn.
And I just bought the car off my freaking friend. I was like, what do I do? So now I was like, okay, I asked another friend, like, hey, I asked the friend that was fixing it. I was like, hey, I need to, like, do you have any car I can just borrow? Like, I don't have money. Like, I can give you like $1,000 for the next like couple of weeks. And he took my money, like, fucking not even saying, no, bro, it's okay. Nothing. Just took my fucking $1,000. And that, mind you, at this time, it's probably like, I didn't have that much money saved up. Yeah. Probably had like $2,000 if I'm lucky. Gave him $1,000. I rented this car, and then finally gave him another $1,000 and I bought the car off of him. That car also fucking broke down.
Damn.
A couple weeks later, and I was like, bro, what do I fucking do? Like, I'm just whatever. Point of this story is what made me defeated was that I had that car taken from me, the next car taken from me, and it was a loss, like a total loss. Nothing to fucking I can do. Like, I didn't have the money to fix it. Yeah. The next car that I had that another friend sold me fucking broke down. So the famous picture I have, and I want to frame it one day, is that I'm there, literally feeling defeated out of my life, bro. And I'm talking to my sister. I'm like, this is it. Like, every fucking thing, every car I get is fucking just done. Yeah. What do I fuck? And I don't have a good credit at the time. I can't go get a car. And I'm sitting on the stairs in my sister's apartment, and I'm just laying there, literally on the stairs. And there's a picture of me just laying there. And I laid there for at least 30 minutes, bro. Dang. Gave up on everything. Literally just said, fuck it. Like, kill me. Like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Like, there's nothing I can do. I don't got money to go buy a car. Yeah. I don't got money to fucking fix a car. And I'm still got to get to work in the morning. What am I supposed to do? Yeah. So I know I wasn't supposed to make this story long, and I'm gonna cut some of that so I don't make the story long in this show.
No, but it's, I mean, we need to know what happened. You know, like,
honestly, like, so this moment is like an all-time. And my sister took this picture of me, and she didn't tell me at the time, like, freaking whatever. But I didn't even know she took the picture of me. Yeah. I'm sitting there laying, I'm in like fucking my sweater. I'm just like laying there and just like felt defeated in my life. And that's a moment that I decided that either I'm gonna keep going and fucking figure out a plan, or this is a moment I fucking give up on everything, and, you know, this is it. And if you think about it, how could you just easily give up, even though you've gone through all these problems? How could you easily just give up? Like, you still have to get to work. You still have responsibilities. I still have to pay for my son. I still got this. What's the next fucking move? Yeah. So it took me 30 minutes to hit me in the head. What's your next move? Fine. So how do I come out of this? I'll tell you. So I had to ask one of my other sisters. I had to ask her. I was like, look, I have shitty credit. But the reason I have shitty credit is because of all these loans when I was a kid. I fucked up, whatever. I promise you that I will make every single payment. And my other sister can vouch that I made every single payment to that car. I can only make this amount of payments per month.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please go with me to the Honda dealership? Can you please co-sign for me so that I can fucking, get this car? And the reason I had to go to her, my other sister, because she carried pregnancy. Yeah. And it was still within that same year. So that's what I had to do. I had to beg her and just say, like, look at, like, your credit's going to go up. I promise you I'm not going to miss.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept my promise. I never missed a fucking payment. And through that 3-year lease, my life has obviously changed. And I was able to get my next car without being signed with her. Like, all this other shit.
Yeah.
So that's how I got out of it. But that was a defining moment that I wanted to see. Like,
Dang.
Do you give up in that moment? Or do you say, fucking, like, what do we do next?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is. I think you do give up.
Because that's how you felt, right?
Mm-hmm.
You literally fucking, you felt
I
defeated.
think you do give up. Like, I did. Maybe not for 30 minutes. I think it took me a whole day, dude, because
I'm saying in that moment, 30 days, but it does, get me wrong, that whole 6 months of the car things, a piece of me was giving up every single time. Like, almost like, bro, like this.
You're just kind of like an autopilot, you know what I mean? Like, just moving like an NPC, like they say.
You're trying to fight to the next moment, and you're fighting and you're fighting.
You're not even trying. You're not even thinking. You're not even motivated. You're not even inspired. You're not even looking into the brightness of the sun. You just, like.
You just feel like life is against you.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's teaching you something that taught me fucking how to push through one of the hardest moments of my life. And that was not just my first hardest moment, but after that push, when other life gave me fucking problems, granted, I would be upset about it, but bro, like, nah, nothing will defeat me like that day.
Yeah.
Because I always remember that day, and I think you will always remember your day when you were defeated. Like, nah, because you look back and you're like, nah, that shit, nothing.
Yeah, now it's not. And now we see whatever struggles we're facing now, we see them like nothing, right? Because of what we decided to keep going, and I guess that's just like a lesson for everyone, right? Like, if you're going through shit, like, and you think this is it, just keep going, like, don't be those people who actually go into depression, because I'm sure, like, we've been close, or we've been into that, and nothing good happens out of that, you just gotta keep going. At the end of the day, you gotta shake it off, hit the gym, and keep going.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like that. Actually, if you think about it, and you go back to all those hard moments that we've had, your life, my life, and we go back to it, every moment that we have, yes, we were defeated. Yes, we felt defeated. Yes, we felt like we lost something. But every single time we took the step forward, not a step back. Mm-hmm. Regardless of, you took 3 steps back because you got a car that's shitty, a car is shitty. Yeah, those all learning lessons, and you're like, whatever. We always figured out a way to get through it. Yeah. And that defines the type of men that we are. And that's what we want to instill into all the young men.
Yeah, 100%.
Take your fucking step forward. You're defeated right now. Get up and get the fuck up and go fucking do it. Figure it out. I don't know. Yeah. Like, everyone figures out their own shit, bro. Like, they're just going to have to. Like, ask for help if you need to. Yeah. I had to ask for help that I didn't think, and I had to beg. Yeah. Honestly, I did. I had to beg my own sister to co-sign for me, because she thought I was going to, like, just fuck up her credit or something like that, because she didn't want to have someone else fuck up her credit. And, like, that's perfect. But, like, sometimes you don't want to do that for a family, and you're like, okay, you give them a chance. But, I'm grateful that I was, I stuck to my word, and I told her that I was able to do that, and I didn't lie about it, and I didn't fuck up, because there was a possible chance. What if I lost my job? What do I do now that I have this car? So, like, that's possible, but, roll with the punches, bro.
Yeah. And I always plan for the, what's it called? Like, plan for the worst, expect the best, or something like that. Like,
if you're always, I really think that's true, because I think what you're gonna go with this is, if you plan for the worst but expect the best, even if something happens, you're already prepared. You're already preparation.
Yeah, like the whole zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
It might not happen, but I already got you already got your stuff.
Your bug out bag.
So yeah, dude. I mean, well, with that being said, guys, expect more of just solos, I guess, from us. Because we still want to keep sharing our stories, and still want you guys to relate to us and see that what you see on our socials, it's not just that. There's more to it, right? And there's a reason behind everything that you see, our actions, and so on. So just make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if you're going through stuff, and again, just like, comment, and reach out to us, man. It's always good to to have conversations like that with others, because you're not alone. We're not alone. You got us, and I'm sure you got plenty of others.
Yeah. And to add on to that, guys, we're going to continue. If you want to come on, don't feel scared or anything. Reach out, and if it's the right fit, we'll make it happen. Like we want to bring people on, tell their stories, whether it's happy, whether it's sad, whatever your scenario is. We can figure that part out, and and you can bring on. You never know who you're gonna help based on your story. Like our own stories. Once we get in depth, bro, no one's gonna understand some of these stories. Like it's gonna be like it may take 100 podcasts for people to get a whole story from our whole life. It can't be summed up in fucking an hour.
Yeah, definitely.
So, like you said, man, you guys definitely need to comment, share, send this to anyone else. If you're feeling down, whatever, or if you know someone that's feeling like whatever, or needs like a pickup or a motivation or whatever, and we post the clips, send it to them. Like hopefully that fucking helps them. That's our goal here. Honestly, always help each other. To us, this is therapeutical. We get a lot from each other when we bond. We become closer all the time. We hear each other's stories. We talk off camera, obviously, because we're great friends. But, that's something you can always strive to do with your friends, your family, that you see from this, So thank you again for watching. Thank you guys for giving us, hope. Thank you for giving us, your support. And look forward to, once we hit 100 subscribers, we are planning... Right, I'm gonna say we are planning to do a raffle for our 100 subscribers on YouTube. So look forward to that, guys, and look forward to more sharing stories with you guys. Thank you again for watching, and peace out, man.
Peace.